Okay, let's look at a pie chart task 1. So what have we got here? We've got 4 pie charts. It says the pie charts below show units of electricity production by fuel source in Australia and France in 1980 and 2000. So I chose this one because the noun phrases that we're going to use are relatively easy. Later on we will do some more difficult noun phrases, but this one is quite straightforward. And let's just get started. I'm trying to make these videos shorter because nobody watches the 20-minute videos. Lazy! So, step 1. Noun phrases. I'm just going to say NP1, NP2, NP3. Okay, so take a look. Can you see them? I've put this document in the description so you can print it out if you want. It's quite straightforward. We have noun phrase 1 in the question. I wouldn't use those. We're looking at production. Production is the main thing. So noun phrase 1 is electricity production. But a nice synonym for production for electricity is generation, so you could paraphrase that a little bit. Production of electricity, quite straightforward. And then this is the most important one. See if you can do it. Pause the video. The amount of electricity which was produced. And then we're going to add, in each one of these, we're going to add a preposition phrase at the end here to say which one we're talking about. Great. Step 2 is paraphrase. So let's do that really quickly. The pie charts can't really paraphrase it. The pie charts indicate information about production of electricity by various sources of fuel in 2 countries in 1980 and 2000, something like that. All right, there's our paraphrase. Next, overview. Step 3, overview. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Go to the overviews video that I made. See what you can think, what you think. But this one, it's basically you want to look at that. Please notice that they have this total thing, and you must look for those. If they have those, you must use those for the overview. Often they have it in the tables as well, total or average or something like that. So here we can see production went increased there and it increased there. So all your overview is going to say is that total production of electricity increased in both countries. Overall, it can be seen that total production of electricity increased in both countries over the period shown. Now, you should try and include these numbers. You can put them in the overview. Usually I tell students don't put numbers in the overview, but these are overall numbers. So you can put them in the overview, or you can put them later on at the ends of the body paragraphs. But I think I'll just put them in the overview. Great. Then step 4, we start with our body paragraph 1. So we're going to do 1 paragraph for Australia, 1 paragraph for France. Now, step 4, you need to decide what data you're going to use. You should put little circles on your chart or whatever the chart it is, or the table or whatever it is. And step 4, decide what data you're going to use. How many data points are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8, and then there's 5 and 5. So that's 18. That's actually quite a lot. Usually, I would say roughly 12. 12 is enough. It might be difficult to put all 18 in. So don't worry if you have to leave 1 or 2 of these out. But let's try and put 18 in. It's a lot, but we will see if we can do it. Right, so I'm not going to circle these because I've decided I'm going for all 18 data points. Let's see if it's possible. But usually, really, try and go for about 12 if you can. Right, linking language. Let's get started. Linking language. Looking at the Australia pie charts in more detail, it is evident that what do we want here? Now we want one of our noun phrases. We're going to start with the biggest one. So this white one here, from coal, increased from 50 to 130. Use noun phrase 3. Amount of electricity which was generated from coal. There is our noun phrase 3. Great. There is the verb. And then we just say the units from that preposition phrase to that preposition phrase. Now you could put a full stop there, but always remember we want to try and have a comma which somewhere. And I think this is a good opportunity to have a comma which because it was the biggest change on the chart. Remember in the line chart we said which was the highest point on the chart. You can't say highest point for these, so you must say biggest change. which was the biggest change on the charts, which gives us a lovely complex sentence, makes the examiner happy. Now he's thinking, okay, I can give 6 for grammar minimum. Right, you can put some linking language there if you want, next or in addition, but I'm just going to continue and just go straight for the noun phrase. I said generated, so production of electricity. So I've used a noun phrase 2 from, now we're going to go to the next highest one. This one is hydropower, 20 to 36. It decreased. So it decreased. So actually let's use some linking language and say in contrast. From hydropower, from what to what? From 20 units to 36 units. Don't say just 20, you must say units. Great. While I remember, I just want to point out, usually pie charts are percentages, and so if you add all of these numbers up, it will come to 100. But please check. If it's percentages, then you can say percent, but this one we can't, because this is obviously more than 100. So this is not a percentage, it's a unit. And then finally, this is the same, so I'm going to try and do a special sentence. I'm going to say they both decreased to 2 units. What is that? Natural gas and oil. Don't say natural gas decreased and don't say oil decreased. Remember, you must say production and generation from oil. So electricity production, there's our noun phrase 1. From oil and natural gas, both decreased. There's our verb from. Now I'm going to add a respectively. Try and use a respectively, or learn how to use the respectively. It's a good way, it's a nice sentence to use because it gives you good language, but it also helps you to put a lot of data points, 4 data points into one sentence. Decrease from 20 and 10. Which one? Natural gas 20 and oil 10. So then I must say 10 and 20. So electricity both decreased from 10 and 20 respectively. So that means that this belongs to this and this belongs to this. That's what that respectively means. Try and use it if you can. It means you put, actually I've got 4 data points in this one sentence. I could have put in 1980 over here. Fine. Great. So how are we looking? We've got already 133 words. This is a big essay because a lot of data points. So let's move on to the next paragraph. All right, nice linking language. Turning to the second set of pie charts showing data from France, it can clearly be seen that. So we've got our that over there, and now we want SVX. We want another nice big noun phrase. What are we going to do? Okay, so the obvious one is that this one went from 15 all the way up to 126 nuclear power. From increased, you can say increased significantly, or maybe we can add something here, increased the most. And we have a nice comparative. From, what was it? 15 units to 126 units. Great, what's next? Let's do this. This is 25 and 25. From coal, remained the same, remained constant, remained stable, something like that. Great, that gives us, that's actually 2 data points then that we've knocked out. Then we want this one, decreased slightly, oil decreased slightly, increased slightly. Instead of saying the years, I've said over the period shown. It would be nice to compare these two in some way. See, these went down to 2 as well. So this was natural gas, and that went on down to 2. 25 down to 2. So it was similar to Australia. It's a nice little thing to add. If you can see it, the amount of electricity which was produced from what? Natural gas decreased from 25 units to 2 units. Now, really, I would actually stop there. I mean, that's how many words? 223 words, which is really way too much. So I would even just ignore this last one. What was it? Hydropower, 5 down to 2. You can add it in as a last sentence if you have time. I'm not even going to bother. 223 words, lots of data points. That's fine.